Ladies and gentlemen, it's week whatever here in Lions Land. It's week turn. I better say hi to the old co-host Stu. Stu, how you doing today, man?
I told you I was in a state of mourning. I'm not in a state of mourning, brother. We're Lions fans. This is nothing.
Before we went live, he was all in black, and now he's blinged out.
I'm blinged out. I wish I had grills. I wish I could hit you with one of those.
I wish you could do that too right now.
I wish I could hit you with one of those. I can't.
Dude, you got all the Lions swag over over Christmas, man. Look at you.
We're pumped right now. That's what we are.
This is, we for those that don't know at home, Stu is a fan of professional wrestling, and in years past I've seen him go heel turn. But this is I don't know what to call this.
Dude, I'm the biggest baby face you know. You don't even know it.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Well, it's the opposite. If I'm a heel turn, I'm a baby face.
I see.
I'm a baby face. I'm a blue-eyed baby face.
You're in there, man. I'm digging the flag. I'm digging the chain. Is the chain, the hat, and the flag all new?
Yeah, these are all Christmas morning gifts. These are all things that I was opening up while the team was getting shellacked, right? Because we didn't get to open presents until the afternoon because my wife and kid had to work,
Okay.
So I'm opening up presents while we're taking a beating.
Dude, it's so brutal.
Mm-hmm.
So brutal. Yeah, we did.
What's the Christmas list? And the family says, well, what would get you? It's like, anything Lions. That's kind of an outstanding. That's pinned.
Yes.
That's pinned to the top of the list, right?
Yes.
Anything Lions. And so
yes,
they took it to heart this year, and
love it.
And they pulled off some things. And did I look at it with like any amount of like sorrow? No, man. It's just it's. We're in our 40s, Jack. Like we've taken a couple of sips of like the honey nectar, and you think that's gonna change us?
Well, I tell you what, man, it was it was a weird one, and for me, usually like we go really tightly, kind of either game preview or game review. And this one just left me looking, or maybe I'm grasping, or maybe I'm just looking at the big picture. One of the things that was crazy, I was chatting with, who was that? Was I was talking to a friend of the show, Jim, and we were going back, and I was talking to somebody, maybe it was Jim, but we were talking about.
It wasn't me, because you barely respond to my texts when we're not doing this, so.
I don't think that's completely true, but it's possible.
I can pull it up. It's fine. No, I can pull it up. It's fine.
You pull up the receipts.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Giants fan, and so maybe it was Jim, but they were saying, and I'm like, oh, they're talking. Some people are saying, maybe it's time to fire Dan Campbell, and they were like, we would hire him in an instant and make him the highest paid head coach in the league. Like when I see takes like that, I feel like, listen, we need to zoom out a little bit. Like, I know it hurts right now.
Dan Campbell's not the problem.
Yeah,
Jared Goff's not the problem. But see, quarterbacks are fans, NFL fans, football fans are so dumb. Me included. I will say that I am definitely including myself on that list. That if anything goes wrong, the guy you want to blame is usually either the quarterback or the head coach.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was one of those things that there are times where I see other quarterbacks, and it's funny. There is like when the Lions were bad, And then I would watch a good football team, I would just say, wow, this looks so much different than what it looks like when I'm watching the Lions. I have a similar thing now when I watch mobile quarterbacks, but not even like running quarterbacks. Like I'm not even talking about like Lamar or something like that. But I forget who it was that I was watching, but they just had some additional mobility in the pocket. And it is, you're like, oh, wow, the quarterback can slide around the pocket a little bit more. He doesn't move a ton in the pocket. But, the flip side is the pressure that they've been getting up the middle and everywhere on that line is bonkers. And at this point, that I don't think this line was what they envisioned it to be. What if we want to start pointing some fingers about how some things have sorted out this year? I'm more comfortable going further up the ladder.
Definitely, but let's look at Jared Goff just a little bit. So,
yeah,
year over year, the guy just gets a little bit better, better. Yep. Look at that. Yeah, there were a couple of picks last year, it's like 5. That's 5.
Yeah, I think it's either up to 7 or 9 on the season, but still.
Yeah, okay, so if this a little dated.
Yeah, it's still, but I mean the thing with him is it's always top 10 production, if not top 5, depending on metrics. You know what I mean?
This is how he matches up, right? Mm-hmm. Against these are your top NFC quarterbacks.
Man, look at Stafford. Stafford's had him a year, man. Stafford had himself a year.
It's a complicated sort of set of feelings with him,
But, I feel better about Matt than I do some other people, and it's honestly like I don't think Ben Johnson is ever going to.
No.
Back on my. Are we? How close are we to christening him enemy of the podcast?
Oh,
or are we already there?
He's an enemy of the podcast. 100%. He was actually before he left the team.
Okay.
He took the job, right? and then he was thinking about deep dish pizza. He was thinking about like, oh, is it the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower? He was thinking about, getting Italian beef and the L and all that. His head wasn't in it, He was thinking about the bean. He was thinking about like, all that goofy stuff that you get in Chicago. And his head wasn't in the game. And that was it. and he looked up and then Jaden Daniels was there. And he's like, wait, what's going on? And then like one of his earpods is playing Kanye West, like it's a salsa combo.
I was hoping, and this is how well we know each other. Right when we went into the beginning of that, I'm like, man, I really hope he starts digging for some Chicago references, and then just boom, you were there. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was. I'm super pleased with that. So, yeah, I mean, it's I don't have a bigger problem with Matt. I think I have a bigger problem with his wife.
Well, yeah, obviously, but the Detroit fans, I feel like ruined that relationship. There was like some sour like feelings there when he came back, and yeah, I don't know.
I think Detroit fans can get a little Philly.
We're not great. No, we're not. We're not great. But
we're not like the worst.
It's not the worst, but like, oh, wow, why'd your dog bite me? Oh, he's been beat up and he doesn't get fed, and like, oh, he's got some issues. So
yeah. And again, looking at these numbers between Allen and May's been bonkers this year too, man. That's crazy. He threw another 5 touchdown passes, or had a total of 5 touchdowns.
Brock
last week.
Yeah, how many? Brock Purdy's thrown a ton of touchdowns in like the last couple of games too.
Yeah, through the fantasy lens, I think he's dropped almost 100 points in the last.
He murdered me single-handedly, like ruined my history-making fantasy football season.
Yeah.
94% chance to win my matchup going into Monday Night Football.
It's brutal, man.
And all it was just Brock Purdy. And then he just, and I shut the game off in the first quarter. He threw like 2 or 3 touchdowns, like right away. I'm like, oh, I already know what's going to happen. This is what happens.
Why? There's one thing that's been killing me is with Drake May, because I ended up I have an Adam Makes Beer league, and I'm probably going to end up winning that. But May had like 45 points in the middle of the third quarter, but he never does it against a team that's going to score along with him. Because I think May could have dropped 60 this past week. Like,
yeah,
some of these terrible defenses, but there's so much stuff that goes into it, man, as far as how the ball's going to bounce and whatnot. But yeah. So I mean, do we just want to go like big picture and then just kind of?
I don't know. Like, how many times have the Lions lost since we last talked? Honestly, we haven't talked. We were all riding high. We were like, oh, they're going to roll right into that Pittsburgh game. And
they're going to roll over Pittsburgh. Yeah.
That's where we were. We were feeling pretty good. But before we get in that, I got a little bit of a bone to pick with this team right now, right? Yeah. Like, so, yeah, I could have all my Lions drip on. I could be blinged out, and it's just an ice cold fit. Like, I get it,
Yeah.
But I've got a couple of bones to pick.
Yeah.
Number one, there's something that they need to they don't need to be doing all this, right? Like when they've lost like 2 games in a row, I don't need to, I don't need this. Like,
first of all, that is probably the most form-fitting overcoat I've ever seen before in my life. I can see man breast.
I'm obsessed with the hat. It's like a 1970s like dock worker,
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how you can get it on like that, And
in that bag, I don't know if he's carrying medical supplies from the Civil War era, a bowling ball, or like a toy dog, or makeup. That's what you're left to wonder.
All of those things are in there. I guarantee all of those.
Is that Robert? Is that a mink right there?
I
think it is. Those snakes.
I saw the boots and I kind of went into a fugue state.
I don't blame you. But so you feel as if there's too much of this going on.
There's too much of this, like, all right, Merry Christmas.
No, okay.
It's showboating. I think if you let's stack a couple of wins and then we can get back to the red carpet shit. Like we can. Who are you wearing, Alex?
I know. Okay, so only Anzalone. That's the only one you have a problem with between these two, right? I don't think there's anything wrong.
No, it's not. The other guy's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of the smugness.
Yeah,
that goes along with.
So apparently, pointy boots are back again.
Yeah, I've been rocking them all fall. It's fine.
All right. Well, hey, let's. No big deal. No big deal.
It's no big deal. I don't know. You do you, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're putting a nail in this thing. Dan said that they're going to be Dan Campbell. Just for
I was thinking Dan Orlovsky.
Said I mean, he said if people are healthy, they're going to play. I'm assuming, Ben Johnson's going to want to score 50 points and beat us by 62 if that's at all possible. After the way they got railroaded when they came into Detroit at the beginning of the year, he wants to come in. He wants to come into his own stadium and show the Lions that he's all grown up now. You know what I mean? He's all grown up now. He took his shirt off on the field, all that stuff.
Yeah. Grown. I don't know. Maybe I think them losing to the Niners last night was kind of the best thing. That's kind of a little bit of a humbling, they're a good team, man. Like they almost pulled it off. The Niners they're a good team.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they're going to go very deep in the playoffs, though. Yeah. I don't think they're built like that just yet. But like, what can we say? This is absolutely the worst case scenario. This is absolutely the worst case scenario where we get all this. We have this success. We turn the franchise gets turned around. We're all feeling great. We're loving where our offense is, and the offense is still great.
Sure.
But then our offensive coordinator leaves. There's all the controversy. There's all the you guys are nothing without Ben Johnson, and then he walks into the worst team in the division.
Oh yeah, definitely in the division for sure. Yeah,
and they're going to win it. They've essentially won the division. Yeah, like there you go. So hold on, let me find. I had a where's nail polish? There he is. So
yeah.
And how much of that is what they've been building, or how much of it is, what we were trying to dust our shoulders off early in the season? Like, it's just, it's Dan. It's always been Dan. But both things can be true. That it's Dan and Ben.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see because, like the first half of this game, the Bears had their two offensive touchdowns. And I mean, they were being spanked in basically every offensive category. When you were looking at first downs, the Niners were at double digit first downs, maybe 15 first downs in the first half. Bears had like 8. The yardage was all different. There maybe some stuff happened on the turnover side to create some shorter fields or something like that, or maybe there was just some big plays. But I personally, I don't think they're going to. I think these guys are Washington commandering it. I don't think that they're going to. If Caleb is hurt next year, they would. But you could say that about a lot of teams. The Commanders won a lot of games last year with lucky last-minute stuff, or at least, it's unusual for it to happen that many times in a season. And things have been bouncing their way. Those last-minute comebacks, with the exception of, was it last night's game? What day is it? With their game this weekend.
Yeah.
They've had like 5 or 6 of those games and they won them, and that profoundly changes the season. Even if you split on those games, it really, really changes how good a team looks. You know what I mean? It makes 10-4 all of a sudden 7-7.
We talked about this before, where it's like the team stays in there. They hung on there the entire time. That there were quarters where the team just completely disappeared, and they look for ways to win. And last night, that could have gone either way, very, very, very easily. That was just right down to the wire, and that's as close as you're going to get. The thing with the Lions is they're disappearing for, it feels like, big chunks of the game. Right. And so I thought this was an interesting note that this was, the third quarter. And we talk about the third quarter, right? Like, there's like a weird flatness coming out of that. They were hardly on the field.
Yeah. It's been interesting. It's been interesting to see, because I mean, obviously, that flatness there, we've had that, and as being a couple guys that follow things on the fantasy side as well, we know Jahmyr Gibbs is statistically going to be at the top of the league, and I think you can make an argument that he's had the best running back season of the running backs this year. But he's been up and down. You know what I mean? He'll have monster games and then have quiet games. I personally think, I think the last game against the Steelers, that was the worst that I've seen it, with the amount of inexplicably untouched guys getting into the backfield. I refuse to believe that the blitzing schemes and everything are that good. You know what I mean? We've watched a lot of bad football for a long time. And I mean, just massive pressure on the quarterback. And it's not that pressure that takes time to develop either. You know what I mean? It's not like the pressure's coming at 2.5 seconds when you're supposed to have the ball off anyways, because that's kind of the plus or minus metric that people follow. So, the quarterback has the ball in his hands for 2.5 seconds, it needs to be out.
Yeah. So look at this. There was 30 carries.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then what happened to but the Pittsburgh game wasn't much. I don't think that was much better. Mm-hmm. Was it? No. And what happened yesterday with the Browns beat them. So the Steelers beat the Lions and then just turn around and lose to the Browns.
Well, this goes back to a word that I can't spell, and anytime I try to type it into a spreadsheet or a document or do a text to somebody, I must be trying to spell it wrong. But parity in the league this year is absolutely insane. How flat the league is team to team. Like, a friend of the pod, Ryan, our fan of the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are as good as their record. I mean, they happen to be doing it, and yes, I think their arrow is pointed up. I don't think they should be disappointed if next year they make the playoffs but don't have the regular season record that they have this year. You know what I mean? There's just so much variance. It's been so weird. I mean, obviously within our own division, we have the Bears going from worst to first. I'm still hating not being in one of those garbage AFC divisions. But the funny thing is okay, we can say last place in the division, but I mean, it's possible that they go 9-8. You know what I mean? They could be in last place in the division,
right?
Be above 500. In some conferences, that gets you first place. You know what I mean? So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, it is funny how flat the league is this year. Just from as far as having elite teams, I feel like there's just a lot of teams that are good, and then everything else just kind of filters out behind that.
The Steelers game was 16 total rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery had on 4 touches for 14 yards. Jahmyr had 7 touches for 2 yards. And Jared threw for 364 and 3 touchdowns. That game really could have gone either way too, but that's just so one-dimensional. That's crazy.
But have you when's the last time that somebody you've been on a call at work and somebody keeps saying something annoying to them, so you just go over and punch them? Has that happened like in a professional setting for you?
to go over and punch somebody that's saying something annoying.
Yeah. In
the
workplace.
Yeah, not too terribly often.
I do like now that so DK Metcalf. So one of the things that's so crazy to me is because we learned earlier this year that the league office without a flag can call down to the officials and change a play or change a play call. But it was all over X, DK Metcalf punching that wang of a Lions fan. Okay. The guy had a presser afterwards and was wearing a Lions hat backwards. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? What are you apologizing for?
No, I'm sorry. That's too much for me. You decide to show it to the presser in a backwards Lions hat and a suit? What's happening here? Okay, so, but, so Metcalf goes over and punches this guy. It's all over X. It's all over Twitter. And the league doesn't, he assaulted a fan and then just kept playing. They couldn't have pulled the plug on that?
No, they could. Well, the refs didn't see it. That we're informed every 5 seconds that the refs didn't see it.
Yeah. It's just one of those instances where the league cannot say, "Hey, listen, we just saw one of our employees punch one of our customers." Yeah, yes, bro. Look at the guy on the left of him is thinking what I'm thinking. Okay, blue ties. He's reading my mind.
Yeah, it's very funny, and I love the folding table. Yeah.
And you got
honestly, the whole thing is
there to the side of him.
It's so funny. Just the fact that he did that. He's a troll. He's an absolute troll. It's whatever, man. I don't know. Like I definitely don't. I'm not the type of person that would look to antagonize a professional athlete. We may or may not have friend of the show, John, and I may or may not have heckled Tony Gwynn sometime in the mid '90s when we were sitting outfield at a Pirates game against the Padres. But I don't think it didn't go that far.
Tony Gwynn struck out 12 times in like 5,000 at bats or something. He's not sweating getting heckled. The great ones don't sweat it. You know what I mean? But DK Metcalf, he is sweating it. You know why? Not one of the great ones.
Right. But like maybe Tony Gwynn was a little annoyed. Like he went back, maybe like kind of threw a towel roughly, a little bit, or slammed the visiting locker, He goes back, like, what's the matter, Tony?
He's like, nuts. These guys are really getting under my skin.
I hate it here.
The kind of guy that says nuts.
Hate Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Have you ever seen? There was a documentary that was on Greg Maddux. Back when he was pitching, and maybe it's called The Professor or something. It's super good. You should watch it. It's super good.
They make a documentary on David Cone?
I don't think so. Did they? I know they did one on Maddux, and he was saying one of the things that I loved was toward the end of his career, he was calling all of his own pitches, so he would signal it to the catcher by how he was touching his face in between.
Yeah, I actually saw something.
Or how he caught the ball. Yeah, the guy had it figured out.
I don't want to watch a full documentary, but I would like maybe like a 12 to 14 minute thing on Jim Abbott, the guy that played for U of M who had just the one hand and the glove, and he would hold the glove and then throw and then put the glove on. Stuff his hand right into it. That was awesome.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. I'd watch a full documentary on Kirby Puckett, I think. If I had to pick players from that era
is Kirby still with us?
No, he's been gone for a while.
Well, he went blind too, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm remembering it correctly.
I think I had an issue of Sports Illustrated for Kids that taught how to swing a bat like Tony Gwynn.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I probably should have paid attention to that because I couldn't swing a bat. What else we got, man?
Here's something very I got a very relatable quote here. I don't know if it's true, but like everything, I don't really care if it's true or not. I'm less interested in truth. Lions head coach Dan Campbell reportedly threw a chair into the wall of the locker room after the loss to the Steelers.
I'll say this, man.
Not a sugar bowl, but it'll do.
He has been stressing me out during in-game interviews, pre-game interviews, like when it's go time and he's there, like the volume of exogenous testosterone, the volume of caffeine, he's sketched out, man. He's like touching his face, and he's really amped. Yeah, I could see him throwing a chair into the wall. I believe it all. I believe it all. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I saw a tweet today where somebody was like, I don't think people are going to enjoy the Lions in off season after Dan Campbell has to be thinking about losing like they did this season. And again, I think that's mostly that. I view that as mostly a joke. I think sometimes people take that stuff really to heart. But I mean, to just kind of dig in on it, Brad Hill. Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of decisions to make, and to kind of dig in on the Brad thing. I think I'm not a big fan of saying that somebody's draft class was a bust until a few years in. And I think case in point is somebody like Campbell, linebacker, who's playing at, an all-pro level right now.
Yeah.
But, to say that the last two drafts have paid immediate dividends, they have not. The lack of moves that they made surrounding this offensive line. And I understand thinking that Mahogany can step up. I understand that you did not think that, not Ratledge, but Ragnow, you did not plan on him retiring. But also the guys had an inoperable toe thing for like 2 years. And he's talked about it before. And I think they did not. The whole thing runs on that offensive line. The whole thing operates on that offensive line, and
it was the best. It was like the best O line in football for
absolutely,
absolutely span of time.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, widely regarded as a top 3 unit for multiple years, and they let Zeitler slip, and now you could say, well, Zeitler wanted to go back and play at home, maybe. But maybe, I mean, we both learned, we both saw with Myles Garrett this year, you want to be traded, you're never going to play another down for you again. And as long as there's a correct number of zeros behind the big number, right, you're going to end up being back. You can't tell me that this line isn't better off with Zeitler. And they could have done something else at center, because at best Ragnow should be backing up that position. And so, for so much of it, and, we had Decker out. I'm going to be interested to see how much more time Decker plays too, man, because I don't think that's a given. I think you have, arguably the best offensive lineman, the best tackle in football on the right. He could go to the left. I don't think the whole difference between right and left tackle matters as much anymore these days. People might assume that we're going to slide Penei over to left tackle, and maybe we will, but you don't see that talked about in the same way. Left and right tackle are starting to catch up to each other or level out a little bit as far as pay goes, because you got to be able to stop somebody, whether it's on the blind side or not, from a pass rushing standpoint, So,
and Sandra Bullock, speaking of the blind side, Sandra Bullock, I mean, she knew about that, right? With Michael Orr.
She did. She knew about
that.
She knew about it, and I think she had it figured out. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of times it's about talent evaluation, but also what Sandra taught me from that movie is it's about heart. It's about understanding people. It's about the soft skills, man.
Not giving up on somebody, right?
Not
Even if you don't understand where they're
yes.
coming from. I've never seen the movie. I not
Me
knowing
either.
where they've come from, and there could be a lot of cultural, differences, but you're figuring out that at the end of the day, we're not that different.
Are we
There's
still
a blind side and there's a non-blind side, right?
Are we still when we as an American culture still making like the Dangerous Minds type movie that was popular when we were kids, where you have like essentially like the white savior kind of thing?
Yeah. My favorite one
was
was Finding Forrester, right? That's the one where Sean Connery was like, "You're the man now, dog."
Hey, your Sean Connery is pretty good. You surprise me sometimes.
It's no big deal. I could just try.
Don't do that. Don't do that, and don't act like you're not pleased that I loved it. Okay, but that's good. That was good. I liked it. But yeah, I think this is the root from a personnel standpoint of where things went sideways. You're not going to control necessarily if guys are getting injured or not or anything like that. But I don't think they had the bodies to be built that way. You're going to see a fair amount of stuff too, talking about missing Laporta and what he can do on offense and how that changes that running game. If you remember, flashing back earlier in the season, Dan Campbell was saying, talking about Laporta, he was saying, the underrated thing is, he said he's grown so much this year. He says not even from a pass catching standpoint, but he said from a run blocking standpoint. He said his run blocking is just at another level. And those things wear away at you, man. And again, we're second in the league this year. Last year we were first in games missed to injury. I think the games missed to injury and the lack of addressing that offensive line is the thing. Yeah, second in the NFL. Second in the NFL. And I don't understand this. I would really love to. I'm forgetting, is it Stefania Bell for ESPN, who does a lot of the injury stuff? I would really love to hear somebody do like a deep dive, because there's a number of these Twitter docs and stuff like that these days. I would really love to hear somebody do a deep dive on this stuff. I've listened to stuff as far as like recurrence of injury, post hamstring strain, post sprained PCL, stuff like that. But I would really be interested in hearing somebody that knows what they're talking about talk about how this happens 2 years in a row. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they didn't have roster turnover. We had new guys that came in and got hurt too. You know what I mean? Like what is there to that? Because it could just be, hey, listen, 2 really bad years of luck.
Is Marsha got to pull the turf up and have something else put in there?
I would also be interested in seeing where those injuries are occurring too, because there are some places that have that stuff. I don't think you don't see these people pulling up the turf just because they can make more money with the turf in there. Right. They can have whatever event in there. It's a money making thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in my mind, those are the two things. And I personally think, after seeing how this whole thing has kind of ran out, and this is just all kind of raw. I haven't sat down and really been digging through things. Holiday season is always busy. Christmas season's always busy. But when I get a chance to dig in on some stuff, my feeling is, we talked about earlier in some earlier podcasts that they're going to grow patiently through the draft, some different things like that. I'm going to be interested to see if Dan changes course on that a little bit, because prior to Micah Parsons' injury, Brad, I love that so much, though. I love it so much.
He's locked in.
See, the thing with him is he's making that face when he's drafting Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th, but he's also doing it when he's like drafting
Ennis Rakestraw. Yeah.
I feel like he's caught between being a genius and galaxy braining it. You know, like when he hits, he really hits, and when he misses, he misses. But in all fairness to Brad, though, they've turned around the level of talent on the squad. Absolutely. I'm going to be interested to see how they handle free agency, because you can't tell me. It would be concerning to me if they came out of this and said that there weren't any lessons learned. You know what I mean? I don't think you come off of that. I don't think the sky is falling. It would not shock me if they won the division next year. Okay, it's not something like that. But I do think he's at the point where he just can't keep saying we're good on stuff. You know, has there been any less impactful 11 sacks on a season than what Muhammad has had for us this year? It's so crazy to me that I think Muhammad has 11 or 12 sacks on the season.
He's been great.
He's in double digits. I know, but he's going to want a fat extension, and I don't think that there's
a lot of people there that want to get paid. You know, and and Jahmyr Gibbs is probably at the top of that list.
Yeah,
for
Gibbs and Campbell. Gibbs and Campbell have to be it.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know what they're going to do with Branch. I'm assuming they might do some sort of like short-term like appeasement deal to get the guy some more money because he is playing on a rookie contract, but they're not gonna drop a big fat money bomb on that guy after coming off the Achilles. You know what I mean? Because we were talking Branch, Campbell, Gibbs, Laporta I think is up too.
Yeah, who's a free agent next year?
Who's that?
Here we go. I'll show you. DJ Reader.
DJ Reader. Yeah.
Do you see this little back and forth where he got into it with another account? I'm like a St. Brown is one of my favorites. What I like to follow, but yeah,
all good. I'll be getting bread somewhere.
Yeah,
good for him. Good.
I was like, Bread's all cool, dog, but you're telling a disgruntled fan you're as a Walter Payton Man of the Year club winner.
Hey. Sometimes it is what it is. You know what I mean? But they have a long list of players that are up right now.
Ask DJ Reader to score a single stat instead of searching his name on Twitter.
Enemy of the show, Michael Jordan.
Hate him.
Hate him. But yeah, man, I think, like I said, without digging in real deep, and I'm going to be putting some stuff together here in the coming weeks, but I do think we need to see something different. Of course, I would love to see them beat Chicago. I think it's possible because really, especially this season, I think anybody beating anybody is possible. Some of the eggs that have been laid around the league this year has been absolutely nuts. But I would love to send the Bears into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak, and then the Bears are only favored by 2.5.
This is as of an hour ago. So
wow.
Yep.
Vegas doesn't believe it either. Okay, and they're not that I'm saying Vegas is always right.
Like me, mean? Vegas still thinks about the nail polish thing,
They do. It's still something
it's been weighing on their mind and their hearts.
It's part of the model. Yeah, let me see what was I'm actually gonna because this is the type of in-depth coverage.
This is what's so funny too. Like on paper, it looks like the Lions should beat the brakes off of the Bears, right? Just by talent. I think you know what? I don't hate seeing DeAndre Swift have a good season.
Yeah,
I did like him on the team.
Yep. Yeah, and hats off to Luther Burden. Luther Burden has finished out the season very, very
Played
nice.
him in both of my leagues last night.
Yep. Yep.
It wasn't a didn't make a fan out of me, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one where he didn't really turn it on until late in the season. I'm looking at weather for Chicago because it's going to be an outdoor game. Do you know what time the game is, Stu?
That's 4:25.
It's a 4:25. Yeah,
here, yeah. Let me give. So, I thought this was a bit of an ominous sort of messaging. You know, details for our Week 18 matchup have been announced. I'd like to know what all of the details are going to be. From...
all the dates. As far as that, it just looks like it's just going to be cold. Wind is supposed to be down. It's
That's in Chicago, the soon-to-be Gary, Indiana, Bears Stadium.
Yeah, hopefully they do move them. I would love that. I would love that. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be cold. But aside from that, weather is supposed to be decent. And we've been burnt on looking at the raw stats here earlier, like when we were talking about the Pittsburgh game, because it is kind of a never can tell thing. But yeah, a lot of yards for both.
I didn't realize what a rushing team. We can't see because of our little logo, but
yep,
Chicago's I mean, they pile up a ton of rushing yards.
Yep. Yeah, I mean they moved the ball. They're a top 10 team as far as they're 10th. Okay, so the Lions are scoring 29 points a game, and that's third overall. And they're 2.5 points less, and they're down at 10th. That's crazy. That's really condensed. I thought that would be I thought that would be closer. I thought that would be closer. Third down percentage.
Number.
Third down percentage is a big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah. When the game gets so one-dimensional, that you're not gonna. What are you gonna pull out?
Where do you pull these from, Stu? Do you?
This is just the score app.
Okay. Do you have the defensive stuff as well?
No, I do.
Yeah. I mean, the defensive side, they've been banged up on the defensive side too. They've been banged up.
They're both tied at 22nd for points allowed. So they're
bottom third.
No, it's we said it. We've seen it for the last month. It's a pretty even matchup. It could go either way.
Yeah.
It's but the players, if the players are super checked out, like we saw Monty sitting on the bench and vague tweeting, like if they're kind of just doing like emotional stuff like that, they're not locked in, you're not Monangai or whatever his name is, and Luther Burden and a whole bunch of dudes nobody's ever heard of. Holston Loveland and Lace.
Well, I don't know. I do think it's interesting too that for the first time, like you always think they're like, oh well the Lions just have like the right kind of guys. They're selfless team guys, right? They're all just part of the team. They're happy to work together. It is funny to me though again, this is said with perspective, because the chips are not down. The team's 8-8, okay, and they might finish under 500, okay, but they missed the playoffs. It's not like it's not like they're 4-12 right now. You know what I mean? But like the first time you're under 500 or at 500, you're gonna have dudes, like you said, vague tweeting, liking Instagram posts that say they should be running you more. You know what I mean? I do think it's funny though, because we always talk about, kind of winning solves everything, right? Winning makes for a harmonious clubhouse, for, everybody is a team player. I do think it's funny though, because I mean it's not even been that bad, and their season has not been that bad, and for David Montgomery to be doing that stuff online, first of all, he's too old for it because he's almost too old to be a running back in the NFL. Because he is getting, it is true. I mean, statistically, it's true. He's almost too old to be a running back in the league. And then to say, okay, I'm playing with this guy that is clearly one of the elite talents at the position, and then you're gonna be pissy about it online. I think it tells you a lot. You know what I mean? And again, I mean, who knows what it is? Maybe he was hacked. That's always my favorite thing.
Do you think he's on the team next season? I've asked you this before. I'll probably ask you again. I don't care. I don't remember.
Well, because my opinion has changed on it a little bit. Before I was like, there's no way. I do think I think what he has going on for him, I think they could get a late day 2, early day 3 pick out of him. But you're not getting a first rounder. You're not getting a high second round, I don't think. And if Brad pulls that off, then he can be back to smug facing it. But I mean, his salary is not small for a running back. It's not outrageous. So it's not impossible to move him. I will be interested to see, though, like if they were to move on from him, it's going to be interesting to see how this team handles players doing things like that, because I don't think it's the most egregious thing. It is like
every team's dealing with this. What I mean, they're all acting like, you know, what is Mac? Well, Mac Crosby got shut down, right? Yeah. So he's kind of throwing a fate. That's it. If we go next segment, when we go around the league, and we touch on all 30, one other teams, we can talk about Max Crosby, which we're definitely not going to do. But I mean, there's a lot of guys that pull way worse stuff than what Montgomery's doing.
Sure,
it's fine, and
yes, it is fine, and I do think it is interesting though to see little things like that pop up when it's not easy street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think, who's been my shining star this season, one of my favorite guys, who I think is going to be taking a kind of a big sort of like leap next year, no pun intended, is this kid.
He's crazy, man. He's crazy.
He's awesome.
Vanellatron.
Yeah, I mean, he's the local guy too. He's from Grand Rapids area.
It's T small e? I didn't realize.
I don't know. I feel like these guys come up with a different way of saying it every week. Everybody's, I mean, are you supposed to pronounce both A's like they do? Like, I don't trust like these Tesla.
All he does is catch touchdowns, man. I would. And
he's big.
Yeah, he is big, dude, and he's fast, and
he's got great hands.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he has a nice little breakout next year.
Here's just my quick rundown take, and this is the reality of what the Lions are. So if you're really beat up about it, you think the window's closed, you think it's over, I would look at it like this. I think that Jared Goff is at worst a top third of the league quarterback. I think that they have arguably the best running back in the league. They have probably the best backup / 1B or number 2 option at running back. I think they have 2 number 1 wide receivers. I think they have a top 3 to 5 tight end. I think Tesla, his arrow is pointing up. And they do have some talent on the defensive side of the ball. They need to get deeper there. They need to get healthy there. They need some pass rush, and they need some offensive line help. But teams do this. It's not unheard of for this to happen. We're looking at the Bears right now. You know what I mean? going from worst to first. I think there's more talent on that Lions team. But yeah, that's just kind of
you're 100%. There's so much to be excited about year over year with this team. This is sure they've lost some games. It hasn't been a great season, but and chances are next Sunday is not. Maybe they pull out the win, and then we can all get on the plane and fly to Hawaii, for start the off season, and it's fine. We have a good time,
Yeah.
But if they do lose, we'll still get on the plane. We'll still go to Hawaii, and you just get back to work. And like for a couple of days, you can be in mourning, but you gotta put the bling back on. You gotta represent. You cannot just be about this life when when things are going good.
You caught me with that, man. You did catch me with that. I tried to catch you and Jer on Small Town Guys by putting my Halloween costume on last second, but you had me. You caught me. You caught me on that one. Yeah, my feeling is this. Let's just talk reality about this week. If the Lions beat the Bears this week, it's going to be awesome. That's going to be an awesome, awesome win. Just because it'll be fun to beat them. If they lose, it's probably a better draft pick.
I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, they should have fired Dan Campbell and made Ben Johnson the head coach." There was no chance that was going to happen. Zero chance. You can't. What can you do? You can't say, "Oh, they should have done everything they could to keep him." Like, well, there can't be two head coaches. I can get rid of a winning head coach for some guy that we don't know. You don't know.
Well, and what's to stop Ben Johnson from it? When people say stuff like that, it makes me feel like they've been not following the NFL for more than 5 seasons. What happened to Mike McDaniel? Mike McDaniel was the offensive genius that rolls into Miami. Everything's working. Everything's untouchable. He's a genius. And then they crash pretty hard, right? And not that I'm saying I don't think that I think both of those guys are great play callers. We'll see. There's always film on people. The league catches up to things. We'll see. You know what I mean? I don't know. People get so caught up in the moment and they're like, well, this is just it forever now. I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that ultimately they probably got a couple of things they're going to need to clean up, right? Before
absolutely
the Bears game. Maybe Dan will have them ready, just to kind of borrow his
maybe he'll throw a person through the wall this time rather than a chair. But I mean, if you remember Stefanski, I think he's won Coach of the Year once, maybe twice, and he's getting fired this year. He got Coach of the Year, was it last year maybe? Or it was a year before. But I mean, like this stuff, I don't know. Like
I'm interested in potential offensive coordinator signings for the off season. That we should talk about that after the season's all wrapped up and the headsman travels around to the teams and we see what happens, because I do think that it will be better for Dan to have a dedicated. I know a lot of these coaches can run both, be the CEO and call plays, but I don't know. I get the feeling that it's probably better if there's a guy solely focused on that.
Yeah, I think that's what you prefer, because it's ultimately the choice he's tried to execute. You know what I mean? Right. But yeah, I would love to see one of these nerds get fired. I want to rehabilitate Mike McDaniel's career here in Detroit.
Yeah, I think he's getting another year, but in Miami,
I hope they change their mind.
Yeah, maybe they'll change their mind. Maybe something really bad will happen. Maybe Tua will tell them something that happened.
Tua's gonna tell him that he knew my brain was scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
But
So, all right. So the playoffs are going to be coming up, though. Yeah. We got to get back on the schneid, so to speak. We're still football fans, NFL fans at the end of the day, right? Like, even if our, the beloved Honolulu Blue isn't in contention.
Yep.
We got to get off the schneid and then get back on the schneid.
Yep.
For the playoffs. Who are you going with? Who are you going to be a super fan for? And you can pick maybe an AFC or an NFC team if you care enough.
Yeah.
Actually, I could find what's the playoff picture looking like?
Oh, I have it pulled up right here.
Oh.
AFC, we'll run through AFC first. First is Broncos, Patriots, Jaguars. Third, Texans, Chargers, Bills. And then right now it has Steelers as in the hunt, but I know the Ravens are right there too. Because the Ravens are at 58% to make the playoffs and the Steelers are at 42 somehow. So however it's one of those funky things. From the AFC side, I would love to see the Patriots do their thing with Drake May, in part because I invested heavily over in him in fantasy on this side. But also I think he's a good story. I would also love to see the Bills win. I think Josh Allen is great. And I would love to see that franchise actually get over the hump. On the AFC side, oh gosh, I don't want to. I'd rather see the Seahawks win, go to the Super Bowl. I've got some friends that love that team. I don't want the Bears. I'm tired of the Eagles. I wouldn't be mad about the Niners. I don't want the Rams going back.
I would be less upset about the Rams. I'm okay with the Rams. Definitely no division. That's obviously no chance. We do not want the Packers. We do not want the Bears there. Yeah. Philadelphia will be there. Not interested in Seattle. Don't care for that team. Never have. That's just not interested. Carolina. I like Carolina. I mean, they're fine. But if I had to pick a team that I would say like I'm just going to root for this year, in the playoffs, Duval.
Your Duval is good too, brother. Yeah, man. Yeah,
I like that team, and I'll say that part of my fondness for them has been due in part to fantasy football this year, where I had Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, Monsieur Etienne, for the season. But also, I like seeing different teams. I'm sick of, I want to see Carolina. I don't mind seeing Houston. I don't mind seeing the Chargers. But no, I'm not interested in Philadelphia. I'm not interested in San Francisco. Buffalo, I'm even a little tired of Buffalo, but I would like to see them in the Super Bowl, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, well, and really, I'm just kind of grateful that. I mean, I want to see something new. I want to see somebody new win.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm alone. It's a blessing that KC is out. I can't be too mad about that. At least they're not in it anymore.
We just haven't had enough of a break since the last big Patriots run for me to be interested in seeing the Patriots. Even though I like Vrabel, I like May, it's all of that's fine. It just feels like the same old trotted territory.
For sure.
Right, so we're back on the schneid.
Back on the schneid. We're gonna do our thing. We'll be back next week. With something. And this one I'm gonna be a little bit more dialed in. There'll be a few more analytical things that I wanna dig into. It'll be good.
You're gonna lock in? You're gonna lock in for this next
I'm gonna lock in, man, because you know what? It's like if you're not gonna lock in right now, or at least stay locked in, you know what I mean? So, kind of a little bit of a Christmas slumber, but coming out of it strong.
Right. And we can narrowcast into the void in our crispy 1080p for
exactly
for all 1-2 people. Our friends they're not even going to watch this. Then I guarantee you I could say all of their names right now and nobody will say, "Oh, yeah,
you mentioned
a good job." Yeah, you mentioned me. Like 0. It's like I don't even ask. I mean, at the beginning it was fun, but it's like, who cares, right? Diminishing returns. That'll be if we ever need to rename the podcast at some point. It could be called Diminishing Returns. So.
Oh, am I refreshing? Oh, it wants me to do that. Never mind. I have a window popping up.
So ultimately, what this means, though, and we can definitively say that for at least another 365 days, we're still waiting.
Still waiting, baby. Still waiting. It's true. The podcast is going to remain true to form. It's going to remain true to form.
Yep.
So, well, all right, brother. Yeah, we'll jump on next week. Maybe we'll do Monday night, Tuesday night. We'll see. We'll see. I'll hit you up.
Are you still live in any leagues?
Yeah, in my Adam Makes Beer League, I think it's going to wrap this week. I think I'm going to win that one. And the kick in the pants for me is, I felt really good about the team that I had in our league, and I believe that it was a superior team.
Oh, it was a really good team.
To the other team that I have that's going to win.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to win the championship in this other league, but it wasn't as good as my other team, but I'm just going to get like the bounces in that league. But I mean, that's just how it is. You know what I mean?
I had the same problem, the one in our league, and I was going through seeing who had top scores and top players week to week. And Jonathan Taylor on your team hooked you up a bunch.
Yeah,
you were the team to beat early on in the season, and then you cooled off. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think I'm probably going to win my other league, and then of course I'm like fighting for third place right now.
Sure.
Like in this one, so it's whatever. It comes down to Drake London versus Kyle Pitts tonight. But
yeah, well, Pitts was the one that ruined my season last time. So, in our league, he ruined us. Yeah. Dale, enemy of the podcast, Dale.
Enemy of the podcast, Dale.
I don't mean it, Dale. I love you. Anyways, we will catch you guys next time. Have a good one.